So these are the AirPro 6, another pair of cheap USB-C wireless earphones like those i10 TWS we talked about a while ago. At first glance, there's a lot to be excited here, but these have one major drawback. Let's talk a little bit about their design first. These are interesting because they're a mix between the regular AirPods and the Pros. They have the stem from the Pros, but they sit in your ear exactly like the regular AirPods. When we first started hearing rumors about the new generation of AirPods, this was exactly the description we were given. Now we know that those aren't gonna look anything like these, but these are still cool. They're like AirPods semi-pro, if you will, but with USB-C, which is awesome. I ended up liking this design because regular AirPods fit me well, so of course these do as well. That said, not having the rubber ear tips means you'll hear everything around you. The AliExpress listing mentioned some sort of noise reduction, but I don't hear it at all. The big vent on these is just a sticker, but it seems like a good quality one that won't be coming out. And the dots for the in-ear detection are also just painted on like they were on the i10 TWS I mentioned before. The sensor on the stem of these isn't a pressure sensor, it's just a touch sensor. That said, I almost never touched it on accident because of its location on the stem like that. It lets you single press to play pause, double press to change the volume, and triple press to move between songs. You can also long press to call up the assistant. When you tap this button, it plays this sound which I'm sure I've heard somewhere before, but I can't remember where. I think it's from Windows, but here, take a listen. Other sounds are interpreted by this lady that lives inside these. She tells you if they're connected or disconnected, and everything in between. When the earphones are charging, they turn on this light in the stem, which I thought was gonna annoy me tremendously, but I ended up almost never noticing it. Still, I don't think it should be there at all in the first place, but at least it's off before you take them off the case. And we still haven't talked about the case. It's unlike anything we've seen from Apple before. It's round, and I actually really like it. I like to fidget with it. It's also very small. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't this. I've seen some variations on this case on AliExpress, but they all appear to be the same. Mine has this indentation at the bottom which sort of looks like a smile. It feels sturdy and seems to be properly built, better than the one from those i10 in my opinion. The hinge is plastic and seems to not be properly straight cut in mine, but at least it doesn't close too easily. It also has this button in the back like actual Apple AirPods, but I'm not entirely sure what it does. I think it's just a way to check if the case has battery by lighting up the LED in the front, but it seems odd to just have a button for that, so I must be missing something. And that LED light, let me tell you, why didn't they just copy the lighting patterns from the AirPods? It's not the end of the world, but solid orange, meaning full battery, isn't very intuitive. Also worth mentioning is it doesn't have wireless charging. It's very cheap, so I can't really complain much, but at the same time I wouldn't have minded paying a bit more to get that. To pair these with an Android phone for the first time, you have to open the lid and search for these in your Bluetooth settings. On iOS, they supposedly show up as AirPods Pro, so you get that easy pairing. These don't support Android's Fast Pair, which is a real shame, especially given that they're AirPods clones with USB-C. You'd think they're trying to appeal to the Android crowd, but after the first pair, they'll connect immediately to your phone when you open the lid. In fact, sometimes I have these in their case and they decide to connect to my phone randomly, which is super annoying. It seems to be a bad contacts thing. The right one doesn't seem to make a proper contact with the pins on the case. The battery on the earphones lasts about an hour and 45 minutes, and after that, you'll still have around 40% battery on the right earbud. The left one uses more juice. That said, you can use these individually, so those 40% will last you about 40 minutes. The case can charge the earphones completely for 2 extra times, plus a third time up until around 70% battery. And when everything gets down to 0, you can use that USB-C port to charge these. 15 minutes on the charger from complete 0 gets you 70% battery on the earphones and no battery left on the case. These aren't great values, but they're also not bad either, especially for the price, which I promise we'll get to in a second. But first, we have to talk about sound. I'm not a sound guy, but these sound alright to me. They're not very wide and there's not much bass, but they're fine, again, especially for the price. You can find these on AliExpress under multiple names as AirPro 10, AirPro 6, or AirPro B for around €9. €9, that's incredibly cheap. But remember how in the beginning I said these had one major drawback? Well, these have a delay. You'll definitely notice it when watching videos, it's not something you can ignore. I thought we were over this whole delay thing in wireless earbuds, but apparently not. If you're someone who just wants some cheap USB-C wireless earphones to listen to podcasts or music, you'll probably still like these, but for everyone else, these just aren't it. And it's a real shame too, because I was really excited about these, but oh well. Hopefully, we'll see some more cheap USB-C wireless earphones pop up soon, maybe, this time with support for Android's fast pair, please. Anyway, subscribe, I'll see you next time.